Hello, everyone. My name is Logan Wasden. Me and my partner Isaac Westerling were tasked with redesigning the kiosk at the Nature Study Area for Dr. Moore. The Nature Study Area, also known as the NSA, is just a very important part of ABAC, as you know. Um, in a, the most important thing about the NSA is it just offers such a hands-on learning experience that's essential for ABAC students, especially in the Yale building, but also throughout the whole campus. The NSA, it consists of 24 acres, which has a pond, uh, grass flat, multiple timber species, some native, some invasive. It houses many species of wildlife, and just like I say, it offers so good to the hands-on learning that students can get out in the field and see that kind of stuff. The NSA also has a half a mile of walking trails. Uh, as far as classes go, there are prescribed fires every year, such as fire ecology, several classes, other classes such as uh, measurements, mapping, use it, int and path, use it. Uh, and before we go any further, I think it's also important to describe what is a kiosk. Well, a kiosk is just a stationary wooden box mainly used for just information, such as instructions, like for instance, on the NSA kiosk, you can list all your uh, invasive species, native species, what to do, what not to do, rules. And then, like I say, it just kind of goes with the whole thing because people would use and abuse it without the information or may not even know what it is. They just bypass it. So, excuse me. And the reason we chose this project was because I'm doing remote learning this semester, and it's just a good meet in the middle instead of us having to come together to do projects at ABAC. And plus, I thought it was very interesting to do because the NSA is just such an important part of our education. Another thing we did was we asked several questions to Dr. Moore so that he could, explain how to better the kiosk. One question out of the list was, what type of information would you like displayed on the kiosk? This is obviously important because he would know, over experience and time, what needs to be on there, important facts, uh, you know, certain details, rules, regulations, stuff that he would want. Another question we asked is, what do you dislike about the current kiosk? And basically, the reason we asked this one was just to enhance our kiosk to make it the superior kiosk compared to the other ones. And the another question is, there any special facts about the NSA you'd like to include in the kiosk? That's just for public information. It may draw people's attention, may get them over there, and for those special facts that they see, they may use something else, and it just keeps on snowballing effect into something greater. And then we had several objectives for the kiosk. The main one is to just inform visitors about the history, rules, and importance of the nature study area. So, like I said earlier, that way people just know what's there, know what it's for, know that they can use it. And then the second one is educate visitors of the importance of controlling invasive plants, because people in other fields or, different degree tracks, they may not know that privet is an invasive species. They may not know anything about trees, and it's just important that they see that and that they'll be able to recognize it. And then we also created a trail map using GIS. So, people could see where they're at, and they could also, find their way around the trails or just know where they're at and know special things to look for.
To create the poster at the Nature Study Area, first, we used several materials. The first one was a GPS unit to go out and physically map the Nature Study Area's trails. With the information we grabbed from the GPS unit, we used ArcGIS to create the map that we included in the poster. And to create the poster, we used Microsoft PowerPoint. This is the poster we created for the Nature Study Area. We went out and physically measured the existing kiosk and decided to use a poster size of 48 inches by 35 inches. As you see here in the first paragraph or a couple sentences, we completed our objective of giving a little bit of history to the visitors. One thing we found interesting from Dr. Moore told us that the nature study area was created, paid for, and maintained exclusively by the ABAC Forestry and Wildlife Clubs. No school funds have ever been used in development and maintenance of the club or the area. We gave reasons of why it's important to teaching here at ABAC. We mentioned that the location proximity was close to classes where people could just walk out there, and the biodiversity found out at the nature study area is very diverse. We also gave a couple of examples of classes that are taught there, such as herbaceous, dendrology, fire ecology, entomology and pathology, and silviculture. We decided to use symbols to show the rules, mainly because they can be seen from afar. We gave a little example of active management out of the nature study area. In our example, we showed projects to clean up wild taro out of the wetland area, and we also created a map for the poster. Some difficulties we had was mapping the nature study area. One problem I had with that was I couldn't get the lines to connect in ArcGIS. Also, 2 weeks after I created the map, I went out for a different class, and I saw that other groups had completed their projects of maintaining some trails out there, and unfortunately, those trails aren't included in our map. Another issue we had was contacting our stakeholder. He was a very busy man. Sometimes it took about a week to hear back from him, but in all, it went well. The third issue we had was creating visual flow for the poster. I found it difficult to create visual flow with the few pictures I could find and include. It's very hard to create visual flow and direct the eye with plants. And another issue we had was this is an online project, and my partner was about 3 hours away from me, and he had a very busy work schedule. So finding time sometimes was very difficult. But overall, we had fun creating this poster. We felt like it was a great learning opportunity, and we hope that visitors at the nature study area can enjoy the poster and see our hard work that we put in here at classes at ABAC. Thank you.